What if the way you live today is silently stealing 10 years from your face, and no one ever told you? There's a moment when you catch your reflection in a store window, or in the mirror first thing in the morning, and you pause. Your mind does a double take. When did those lines appear? Why does your skin look tired, your eyes dull, your posture different? Most people assume this is just what aging looks like. But what if that's not entirely true? What if many of the signs we associate with getting old are actually the result of daily habits, choices so small and automatic that we no longer notice them? And what if changing those habits could turn back the clock? Not just how you look, but how you feel, move, and think. This video reveals 7 of the most common behaviors that make people appear 10 years older than they really are. These patterns are often invisible. They don't scream for attention, but they accumulate, like dust in the corners of a forgotten room. Left unchecked, they shape your appearance, your energy, and even how others perceive you. But here's the hopeful truth. Once you see these habits clearly, you can begin to undo them. You can start making choices that restore vitality, resilience, and confidence, no matter your age. And the change isn't just superficial. These same habits affect your cardiovascular system, your brain health, your joints, and your longevity. In the next few minutes, you'll meet 2 people, same age, same background, but completely different outcomes. One seems to be shrinking into time, fading around the edges. The other somehow stands taller, moves with ease, and glows with a quiet strength. By the end, you'll understand exactly what sets them apart, and what you can do starting today. Let's start with something many people overlook: sleep. Or rather, the silent cost of not getting enough of it. Sleep is not just a break from life. It's when your body repairs itself, when your brain organizes memories, when your skin cells regenerate, your heart rate slows, and inflammation calms. But when sleep is poor or too short, aging speeds up. Not gradually, but visibly and profoundly. For Helen, sleep is sacred. Every night by 9:30, she dims the lights, turns off all screens, and plays soft instrumental music while stretching for 5 minutes. It's a ritual that tells her body it's safe to rest. She's in bed by 10, and most nights she sleeps soundly until 6:30 in the morning. That regular rhythm supports her immune system, keeps her mood balanced, and even improves how her skin looks and feels. Frank, on the other hand, has no routine. He stays up until midnight, sometimes later, watching the same reruns he's seen dozens of times. His living room glows with blue light from the television. He often falls asleep in his recliner with his clothes still on. When he wakes up at 3 or 4 in the morning, he wanders to bed but rarely falls back into deep sleep. He says he's used to it, but his body isn't. His face is puffy in the mornings, his memory slips, and he's always tired. Research shows that even 1 week of insufficient sleep can age the skin, increase cortisol levels, and reduce the brain's ability to form new memories. Over time, the effects compound, like interest in a bad investment. You start forgetting names, misplacing keys, feeling irritable. You might chalk it up to age, but often it's the direct result of poor sleep. Want to look and feel younger? Start by honoring your sleep. Treat it like nourishment, not an afterthought. Create a simple routine. Lower the lights. Avoid caffeine after the afternoon. And go to bed at the same time each night, even on weekends. Now, moving to the second factor that silently affects longevity: how much or how little you move your body each day. Aging does not begin in the wrinkles. It begins in the joints, the muscles, and the way we carry ourselves. When we stop moving, the body begins to stiffen, shrink, and surrender. A sedentary lifestyle is one of the fastest ways to appear and feel older than you are. The muscles lose tone, the spine compresses, circulation slows, even digestion weakens. Helen moves like someone who trusts her body. Every morning she walks with purpose, not a power walk, not a race, just a steady rhythm of movement that tells her brain, I'm alive. I'm still here. A few times a week, she joins a gentle movement class at the community center, sometimes yoga, sometimes Tai Chi. On the days she stays home, she stretches while listening to music or tidies her garden, bending and reaching with deliberate care. Her movements are graceful, her posture upright. When she stands, she doesn't groan or hesitate. Frank, however, has become a prisoner of his favorite chair. He wakes up, shuffles to the kitchen, sits with coffee and a pastry, then moves to the living room where he stays for hours. The only breaks are for the bathroom or more food. His knees ache, so he avoids stairs. His hips are tight, his back rounded. When he stands up, it's with effort. One hand on the armrest, the other pressing on his thigh. And each time, it gets a little harder. Science is clear. Physical inactivity contributes to muscle loss, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, and even depression. Just 10 minutes of light movement every hour can reverse some of those effects. Movement feeds the mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every cell that produce energy. When you stop moving, those mitochondria weaken. And when they weaken, so does everything else. The solution isn't intense workouts or joining a gym. It's consistency. Get up, stretch, walk, use your muscles. Move in a way that feels good and safe, but do it every day. The next habit that slowly robs your vitality is one that hides in plain sight what you eat and drink, and more importantly, what you don't. Every cell in your body depends on water and nutrients to function. Without them, systems begin to falter. Your skin loses elasticity. Your brain becomes foggy. Your digestion slows. But unlike dramatic illness, these changes creep in silently. And most people blame old age when the real culprit is dehydration and malnutrition. Helen drinks water throughout the day, not obsessively, but with intention. She starts her morning with a glass of room temperature water and ends each meal the same way. Her meals are simple: vegetables, legumes, whole grains, a bit of fish now and then. She prepares them with care, not perfection. Some days it's a soup, others a warm bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon and fruit. Her skin reflects that inner nourishment. It's not about vanity, it's about cellular health. Frank, meanwhile, reaches for coffee before anything else. 1, then 2, sometimes. 3 cups by noon. Water, maybe a glass at dinner if he remembers. Most of his meals come frozen or in a package, high in salt, sugar, and preservatives. He doesn't cook, and he doesn't want to. Eating, for him, has become a chore. His energy crashes by mid-afternoon, so he grabs something sweet, then regrets it hours later. His skin is dry, his nails brittle, his digestion unreliable. Studies show that even mild dehydration reduces energy, cognitive function, and physical performance. Poor nutrition adds to the toll, triggering inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and accelerated aging at the cellular level. And yet, the fix is simple. More fresh, whole foods, more water, less sugar and processed ingredients. No one needs a perfect diet, but every small shift matters. Try starting your day with water instead of caffeine. Add 1 colorful vegetable to every plate. Prepare something from scratch once a week. Small choices, Big change. Up next, the fourth sign that many people dismiss: loneliness. Or more precisely, the lack of meaningful social connection. Human beings are wired for connection. From infancy to old age, our brains and bodies thrive when we feel seen, heard, and valued. But when that connection fades, something inside us begins to shrink. It's not just emotional, it's biological. Isolation increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, dementia, and even premature death. In fact, research has found that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Helen understands this on a deep level. After her husband passed, the silence in the house was overwhelming, but instead of withdrawing, she leaned into her discomfort. She joined a grief group. Later, she signed up for watercolor classes. Every Thursday, she meets a friend for tea. It's not about being busy, it's about being connected. Her laughter comes easily. Her eyes light up when she talks about her grandchildren. She feels part of something larger than herself. Frank's world, by contrast, has grown quiet. He rarely picks up the phone unless it's his daughter calling. He doesn't go out unless he has to. His neighbors hardly know him. Conversations, once a part of his day, have been replaced by background noise from the television. He's not alone in the room, but he feels alone in the world. That loneliness weighs on him. It shows in his posture, his tone of voice, even in the way he walks. Social isolation accelerates aging in subtle but powerful ways. It affects sleep, raises cortisol, and lowers immune function. It also weakens the brain's ability to stay sharp. But it doesn't take much to turn things around. A weekly call, a shared hobby, volunteering, saying hello to a neighbor. Every interaction is a thread that strengthens your sense of belonging. As we move forward, there's a fifth pattern that deserves attention: the silent fading of the mind when it's no longer challenged. The brain, like any muscle, weakens without use. And while physical aging is visible in the mirror, cognitive aging hides in the background until it doesn't. When mental stimulation declines, memory lapses increase. Focus drifts, reaction time slows. On the flip side, poor posture leads to shallow breathing, fatigue, and even a sense of helplessness. The good news is, it's never too late to retrain your body. Start small. Stand against a wall for 1 minute a day, feeling the alignment of your spine. Stretch gently in the morning. Use a chair that supports your back. And move, because movement reminds the body of its original strength. So now you've seen it. The face in the mirror, the way your body moves, the clarity of your thoughts. They're not fixed by age alone. They are shaped, moment by moment, by how you live. And while genetics may draw the outline, your daily choices fill in the rest. Helen and Frank are not so different. Same generation, same cultural landscape. But their paths reveal what happens when small decisions compound over time. Helen didn't chase youth. She nurtured health. She chose presence over autopilot, connection over isolation, movement over stillness. And in doing so, she didn't just preserve her appearance, she protected her dignity, her vitality, and her sense of purpose. Frank didn't fail. He simply drifted. One missed walk turned into a sedentary week. One frozen meal became a habit. One night of poor sleep led to years of fatigue. His aging was not a sudden decline. It was the slow erosion of unattended choices. But here's the truth that matters most. It's not too late for anyone. Your body wants to heal. Your mind wants to wake up. Your spirit wants to feel alive again. And whether you're 65 or 85, change is possible. Not because you need to become someone else, but because deep down, your healthiest self is still waiting to be restored. Start where you are. Drink more water. Go to bed on time. Stretch. Call someone. Learn something new. Breathe deeper. Sit taller. And above all, remember, you are not too old, and it is not too late. Every day is a chance to age with intention, not by accident. If something in this video spoke to you, comment below. Let us know which habit you're ready to change first. And if you found this message valuable, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more alive. The journey doesn't end here, it begins now. Over time, a person begins to feel smaller, not just in ability, but in confidence. Helen treats her mind like a garden. Every day she reads a few pages of a book, often something that makes her think. She plays word games on her tablet. Nothing fancy, just enough to stay curious. She journals. She listens to audiobooks when she cooks. Sometimes she even practices phrases in French, a language she studied decades ago. To her, mental activity isn't a chore, it's nourishment. It keeps her mind lit from within. Frank, on the other hand, hasn't read a book in years. He used to enjoy solving problems, tinkering with machines, fixing things with his hands. But those days feel distant. Now, his days revolve around passive consumption, watching television, flipping through channels, listening to the same stories repeated again and again. When he tries to recall details or names, he struggles. He jokes about it. But deep down, it troubles him. Scientific studies have shown that ongoing cognitive engagement can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Mental stimulation keeps neural pathways active and adaptable. And it doesn't require complex tasks. It only requires interest and consistency. You don't need to master a new language or become a chess champion. Start simple. Learn something new each week. Write a letter by hand. Recall your dreams in the morning. Talk about memories. Teach someone something. The brain will respond. Let me share the 6th reason why many fail to maintain good health: living with constant silent stress. Not all stress is loud. It doesn't always come with panic attacks or visible breakdowns. Sometimes it's the low hum beneath daily life, the racing thoughts, the tight chest, the restless sleep. And when this kind of chronic stress goes unmanaged, it doesn't just wear you down emotionally. It ages your body from the inside out. Cortisol, the hormone released during stress, is essential in short bursts. But when it stays elevated, day after day, it becomes toxic. It accelerates cellular aging, weakens the immune system, increases belly fat, disrupts sleep, and even erodes memory. Over time, stress reshapes the face, hardens the expression, and steals light from the eyes. Helen isn't immune to stress. She's lost, she's grieved, she's had moments of fear.
But she's learned how to release tension before it takes root. Each morning, she sits quietly for 5 minutes and breathes. She keeps a gratitude journal. She knows her limits and respects them. When something feels too heavy, she talks to
someone, whether it's a friend, her doctor, or a therapist. She doesn't carry pain alone. Frank, however, holds everything in. His worries don't explode, they simmer. He rarely talks about how he feels. When bills pile up, he turns on the television. When memories of his wife surface, he buries them. His shoulders are always tense. His sleep is fragmented. He says he's fine, but his body tells a different story. His face is drawn. His reactions are quick. His patience thin. Science confirms what Helen's habits protect her from: chronic. Stress shortens telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. Shorter telomeres mean faster aging and greater risk of disease. But it doesn't have to be this way. Breath work, nature walks, calming music, journaling, therapy, prayer. These are not luxuries. They are medicine for the nervous system. They don't erase problems, but they shift how you carry them. Finally, there's one last habit that might surprise you: how you hold your body when no one is watching. Posture is more than appearance. It is a reflection of how the body feels, how the mind functions, and even how the spirit carries itself. Poor posture compresses the lungs, slows circulation, and limits mobility. Over time, it can even affect mood, digestion, and confidence. And yet, it often slips away without notice. 1 inch at a time, 1 hour at the desk, 1 nap in the recliner. Helen doesn't stand like a soldier, but she stands with awareness. Shoulders gently back, chin level, spine long. It's not forced, it's trained. Her daily walks help. So does her yoga practice, where she learns to feel the alignment of her body from the inside. When she bends to pick something up, she does it slowly, with care. When she sits, she shifts position every so often. Her posture isn't just physical, it's graceful, present, alive. Frank, though, has let gravity take the lead. His shoulders roll forward, his neck juts out, his lower back aches, so he favors one side when walking. Sitting is a relief, but it's also where most of his day disappears. He slouches, not out of laziness, but out of habit. A habit reinforced over years of ignoring the subtle signs of discomfort. Research has shown that posture influences more than physical structure. Upright posture improves lung capacity, blood flow, and even hormone regulation. People who sit and stand tall tend to report higher self-esteem and better mood.